Hello, my name is Joe, and welcome to a quick vlog update for Joe's Super Fantabulous PC Gaming channel, where I'm taking a relaxing drive through Los Santos, which these days is a safer place to be than Los Angeles. Oh man. Um, and for this vlog update, I'm answering a question that I received recently, which was, Joe, where have you been? In fact, some friends in Discord asked me the same thing. It's a combination of things. Usually it's I've been working a lot because I have the opportunity to work overtime from time to time, and I never ever say no because you never know when you're not going to have that opportunity to work. So I'm the guy at work that always volunteers for all the kamikaze missions, the roughest, toughest stuff that takes the most skill and requires the most amount of hours because I get paid, and so I'm happy to do the work. It also gives me more experience to be able to put on the resume. So when I feel that I've leveled up, if wherever I currently happen to be working doesn't appreciate the fact that I'm more marketable, somebody else will. So I don't necessarily, I'm not going to stick around any place like 30 years unless I see opportunities for me going forward. Just because it's comfortable and easy to work there doesn't mean it's the best, at least not for me. And as part of that, this is the real reason that people have not seen me except infrequently lately, is on January the 1st of this year, I published a video where I encourage people to utilize the opportunities that they may have for having extra time in their hands during the current worldwide crisis, that you could use that to go back and get a little bit more education. A trade school or a degree, either one can potentially open up new doors to make you more marketable and employable, especially if you're trying to get back into the workforce or you're trying to get a better job from what you used to do before. And that's the situation that I'm in. I had mused in the video and said, well, I'm thinking about going back to school. Well, a year went by, I worked real hard, but I'm working from home, thankfully. Because I earned a bachelor's degree, I was able to get a job where I have the opportunity to work remotely. I can't imagine how bad this last 2 years might have been if I didn't have that opportunity, because things went nuts and a lot of things shut down, and I thank my lucky stars that I made that decision and worked at it and earned that degree. And now I'm thinking, you know what? It's about darn time I get another one. I'd always told myself it was a combination of, well, I don't have the time or the money, and, well, you don't realize how much money you spend when you're driving to and from work. It's a lot of time, but it's also a lot of money because you're eating out, gas, and other expenses, clothes and other things. These days, I just sit around the house in a pair of sweats. They don't make me turn on my camera when I go on into teleconferences, thank goodness. So I can sit here and let my hair grow, be in nice, comfortable sweats, and all those expensive clothes are hanging up in the closet for the day when it's time to return to the office, whatever year that happens to be. But in the meantime, I'm using that extra time to go back to school. So I'm going for a master's degree. Now, sadly, I've seen a lot of YouTubers lately who have been trying to discourage people from an education, and I find myself face-bombing. They're like, "Oh, well, if you go to college, it's gonna cost $200,000, and you're only gonna earn $1 extra an hour, and you'll be in debt forever, and you'll really hate yourself for going to school, and all they're gonna do is preach politics at you." And I'm like, what planet are you on? It's like, I mean, personally, yes, there are degrees that are absolutely overpriced and do not teach any employable skills, where it's just an opportunity for someone to preach at you their political nonsense and viewpoints, which are not going to earn you any money. The mortgage company does not care what your politics are. They care whether you paid on time. Same thing with the electric company and the water company and so on. So I skew towards science degrees, things that teach actual employable skills that are measurable, often ones that come with jobs that have professional certifications, which supplement that degree. So it's okay, I have all the basic knowledge, and I can demonstrate mastery of it. You'll also see some people who lately have been advocating, like, I think degrees are dumb. I think everyone should be able to learn on their own and be considered for the skills that they've learned. And I'm like, I don't ever want to have to deal with a surgeon who learned surgery in his garage by practicing on cats or something. You know, there are some jobs you just have to go to school for. Um, you know, whatever your politics and other nonsense are, think about it. Yes, there are some jobs that probably don't require degrees that some absurd employers are like, well, we want you to have a bachelor's degree in something. And there are people that will go to school with no idea what it is that they want to study and get a degree in something just so that they can say they have a degree. These are terrible degrees. You have no idea what your employability is going to be. I know what I'm going to get. And as a matter of fact, I was going to make a follow-up video on January 1st next year where I demonstrate how to find out, what jobs are worthwhile paying. I went back and I actually put a comment on that video where I found this really nice tool where you can look up different types of jobs and what they're paying in various different zip codes in order to determine whether or not it's viable for you to go to school. Because if the school is too expensive for what you're liable to get paid, probably not a good school to go to. And if there's no way to find that degree any cheaper and it doesn't pay all that much, whoo, I wish I could win this much money in real life. That would have been that'd be the price of a master's degree, at least at the school that I'm going to. By the way, yeah, like I said, don't allow anyone to dissuade you and tell you, oh, all degrees are like 100, 200 grand. That's baloney. Um, Not only that, but there are scholarships available. There are more scholarships available if you're female rather than male, and if anyone's triggered by that, sorry, that's the truth. There's lots of scholarships for women, and that's great. Unfortunately, I'm not a woman, so I have to duke it out with thousands of guys over a few scholarships here and there. But I'm still going for it. I'm not dissuaded by it, so one way or another, I'm going to move up, and not just to the roof here of this casino. So, work comes first. If they ask me to work overtime, that comes first. School is a very close second. Fortunately, since it's an online school, I can work it around my work schedule, and everything else is a distant third, unfortunately. Because those other two things are just more important, and I have to focus on them first. On the plus side, it won't be forever. It would just be a couple of years. In the meantime, my streaming schedule is going to be that there is no schedule. I stream whenever I get an opportunity. And there will be some times where I don't stream at all, where I simply record things like I'm doing here, where I enjoy interacting with people on Twitch, but sometimes I don't have the time for it. If I'm only going to record a few minutes here or maybe an hour or two there, I might just record it locally and then play it for you later on a sharing service like YouTube or Rumble or wherever. Because when I interact with the audience, I want to pay attention to everybody, and sometimes I go off on a tangent, and as a result, maybe I get sidetracked on what I was doing. So you'll see some videos where I'm just chatting with an audience, and then others where it's just me. So you'll see those from time to time. I'm trying to queue them up on a schedule in order to keep the channel busy, although lately I was distracted and the channel ran out of content, so that's why you saw that it went a few days before you finally saw this appear. It's just I'm going to try to get it to where I can queue these things up at least a month in advance so that it won't run out again. Fingers crossed. It's a matter of getting the time to record stuff, queue it up, write all the metadata, you got in transcoding, the uploading, all that bit. So one way or another, we'll get things done. I'm still around. It's just finding time for everything. So I've got to run for now, but I do read all of your comments. I respond to them whenever I get a chance, but I do read them all, and I'll be chatting with you guys hopefully very, very soon. So if you don't see me on Discord a whole lot, it's just because I had to run off and do something. See you next time here on Joe Superfantabulous PC Gaming Channel, where we'll have more fun and lots of other titles here in the near future whenever I get a chance. See you next time.